to procure my fall, and by the doom of death end woes and all.
Merchant of Syracuse, plead no more. I am not partial to infringe our laws. It hath in solemn synods been declared, both by the Syracusans and ourselves, to admit no traffic to our adverse towns. Nay more, if any born in Ephesus be found at Syracusan marts and fairs, again, if any Syracusan born come to the bay of Ephesus, he dies. His goods confiscate to the dukes dispose, unless 1,000 marks be levied to quit the penalty and to ransom him. Thy substance, valued at the highest rate, cannot amount unto 100 marks. Therefore, by law, thou art condemned to die.
Yet this my comfort, when your words are done, my woes end likewise with the evening sun.
Well, Syracusan, say in brief the cause why thou departest from thy native home, and for what cause thou camest to Ephesus.
A heavier task could not have been imposed than I to speak my griefs unspeakable. Yet that the world may witness that my end was wrought by nature, not by vile offense, I'll utter what my sorrow gives me leave. In Syracuse was I born, and wed unto a woman happy but for me, and by me had not her hap been bad. With her I lived in joy. Our wealth increased by prosperous voyages I often made to Epidemion, till my factor's death and the great care of goods at random left drew me from kind embraces of my spouse, from whom my absence was not 6 months old, before herself almost fainting under the pleasing punishment that women bear, had made provision for her following me, and soon and safe arrived where I was. There had she not been long, but she became a joyful mother of 2 goodly sons, and, which was strange, the one so like the other as could not be distinguished but by names. At that very hour, in the son of Samian, a meaner woman was delivered of such a burden, male twins, both alike. Those, for their parents were exceeding poor, I brought up and brought to attend my sons. My wife, not meanly proud of 2 such boys, made daily motions for our home return. Unwilling, I agreed. Alas, too soon we came aboard. A league from Epidemion had we sailed before the always wind-obeying deep gave any tragic instance of our harm. But longer did we not retain much hope. For what dispersed light the heavens did grant, did but convey unto our fearful minds a doubtful warrant of immediate death, which, though myself would gladly have embraced, yet the incessant weepings of my wife, weeping before for what she saw must come, and piteous plainings of the pretty babes that mournful fashion, ignorant what to fear, forced me to seek delays for them and me. And this it was, for other means was none. The sailors sought for safety in our boat, and left the ship then sinking right to us. My wife, more careful for the latter board, had fastened him unto a small spare mast. Such a seafaring men provide for storms. To him, one of the other twins was bound, whilst I had been like heedful of the others. The children, thus disposed, my wife and I, fixing our eyes on whom our care was fixed, fastened ourselves at either end of the mast, and floating straight, obedient to the stream, was carried towards Corinth, as we thought. At length, the sun, gazing upon the earth, dispersed those vapors that offended us, and by the benefit of his wished light, the seas waxed calm. and we discovered 2 ships from far making a main to us, of Corinth that, of Epidaurus this. But ere they came, oh, let me say no more. Gather the sequel by that went before.
Nay, old man, forward, do not break off so, for we may pity, though not pardon thee.
No, had the gods done so, I had not now worthily termed them merciless to us. For ere the ships could meet by twice 5 leagues, we were encountered by a mighty rock, which being violently borne upon, our helpful ship was splitted in the midst. So that in this unjust divorce of us, fortune had left to both of us alike what to delight and what to sorrow for. Her part, poor soul, seeming as burdened with lesser weight, but not with lesser woe, was carried with more speed before the wind, and in our sight they 3 were taken up by fishermen of Corinth, as we thought. At length another ship had seized on us, and knowing whom it was their hap to save, gave healthful welcome to their shipwrecked guests, and would have reft the fishes of their prey, had not their bark been very slow of sail, and therefore homeward did they bend their course. Thus have you heard me, severed from my bliss, that but misfortunes was my life prolonged, to tell sad stories of my own mishaps.
And for the sake of them thou sorrowest for, do me the favor to dilate at full what hath become of them and thee till now.
My youngest boy, and yet my eldest care, at 18 years became inquisitive after his brother, and importuned me that his attendant, so his case was like reft of his brother, but retained his name, might bear him company in the quest of him. 5 summers have I spent in farthest Greece, roaming clean through the bounds of Asia, and coasting homeward, came to Ephesus. Hopeless to find, yet loath to leave unsought, or that or any place that harbors men. But here must end the story of my life, and happy were I in my timely death, could all my travels warrant me. They live.
Hapless Aegean, whom the fates have marked to bear the extremity of dire mishap. Now trust me, were it not against our laws, against my crown, my oath, my dignity, my soul would sue as advocate for thee. But though thou art adjudged to the death, and tacit sentence may not be recalled, yet shall I favor thee in what I can. Therefore, merchant, I'll limit thee this day to seek thy life by beneficial help. Try all the friends thou hast in Ephesus, beg thou or borrow to make up the sum and live. If no, then thou art doomed to die. Say, jailer, take him to thy custody.
I shall, my lord.
Helpless and helpless doth the Aegean wend, but to procrastinate his lifeless end. Therefore,